Hi Julie, hi Megan. This week I reviewed Anne M. Wagner's article, Why Monet Gave Up Figure Painting, published on the Art Bulletin. Uh, Wagner is an art historian and professor emerita at Berkeley. Her husband is also an art historian, T.J. Clark. You may have heard of him. So, theories about why Monet gave up figure painting. Number one, roundly accepted, he simply preferred landscapes. However, Wagner, she believes he did so because figure painting was an intolerable activity to him, and we will see why. And modern life was too volatile for him. He could not come to terms with it, really. Um, so, in order to um, formulate her thesis and you know, um, the author she just analyzes one single picture, Le Déjeuner, the luncheon, painted in response to Déjeuner sur l'herbe by Edouard Manet. So apparently Monet did think that people were too preoccupied with what they saw in Paris. Uh, and he was a bit tired of city life himself. He revealed to his old friend Basile how he did not miss Paris at all. He did not miss get-togethers with his friends. He kept avoiding Paris for years. He had his friend Basile do jobs for him, uh, you know, draw sketches for him. In search for inspiration, he even did say he missed drinking wine, though. So he did ask his friend to send some fine one to him where he was. Monet was not satisfied with his composition in Le Déjeuner. We know that from continuous sketches. He asked from Basile and from the fact that he withheld it, he did not exhibit it. There were also economic reasons behind it. To Monet, exhibiting at the Salon was most important, and acceptance at the time was hit and miss. Sometimes he would get approved, sometimes he would be rejected, and human subjects, he thought, were less compelling to strangers, to any viewers. Uh, the author also delves into the relationship between these two friends, Monet and Basile. Basile is younger, just 1 year younger, really, but he's more successful at the time, has more money. And Monet is often complaining. He was being a bit grumpy as well with Basile, with his art dealers. He would often complain he didn't have enough money. However, we know Monet himself was fairly successful. Um, so the reason why he was struggling because he liked to have a lavish lifestyle, really. Um, if we look at previous paintings and similar subjects, similar figure paintings, his Femme au Jardin, Women at the Garden, had failed already at the Salon, and in the Déjeuner we not really seeing a very motivated Monet in his own words, in his letters. He keeps advancing and retrenching, the author says, and Will Le Déjeuner is definitely retrenching. Uh, Actually, what Monet was trying to do, as we said, he was responding to Manet's most famous painting, at least when it came to versions of Déjeuner. He was trying to best his rival when it came to figure painting, and according to the author, he was trying too hard to paint too realistically, and he was depriving his composition of a certain familiarity, possibly even of that trademark impression. And also, he did not paint in full sunlight, which was problematic. Uh, Monet was trying to develop his own brand of figure painting, and he attempted to the author says, naturalize a matter of sociability. Um, I guess with sort of cutting off communication between subject and the viewer, as opposed to Manet, the author says, is bouncing the meaning back into the viewer's space. Uh, but really, you know, in practice, how was he doing that? Well, basically, Manet would avoid any reference points, like any structures in the painting, like a chair or a servant in the scene, which Monet did include. Uh, Monet is seen as he's simply trying to copy Manet, really, but he's unable to. This is a challenge that is accepted for a while, but he has not won because at some point it's become too personal to him, really. The author believes Monet's depiction of a family scene also lacked emotion, also according to critics, possibly because of a troubling situation that he had at home with his own family, with his own offspring, and Le Déjeuner marked a difficult point of intersection, really, between himself as a father and a husband. In the end, Monet was devoted to landscapes, to the natural elements. We know Monet liked to travel a lot with Renoir, for instance, but then he enjoyed traveling alone even more. Um, where he could come up with his own color palette with no interference from any other artist. He may have been a bit grumpy as well. Uh, I guess it was a good read. Where the author lost me a little bit, um, and the essay became a bit problematic when it became too philosophical. When he was talking about the personal dimension of the painting, um, I guess it really depends on personal interpretation. Really, um, I've never thought of Monet being like a bad figure painting. I know he prefers to paint, nature, landscapes, seascapes, but I never consider that as being, a type of painting where he was absolutely unsuccessful and he struggled, to even to exhibit, and he was trying really hard to be like Manet, for that matter, or he was trying to be too naturalistic in his style. He's never, um, he never struck me as a naturalist painting in any way. He's very much quintessential impressionist, if you ask me. So that's a side to Monet that I didn't know myself. So it was good. Yeah, hope you enjoyed and speak next time. Bye bye.